Alrighty then, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome, one and all. My name's Michael, I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer, and welcome to Pathfinder 2nd Edition, Gatewalkers, our epic tale of intrigue featuring these amnesiac characters played by my wonderful and amazing Patreons who support the channel, help us keep the lights on, and do all these cool, fun, wacky, and amazing things. Guys, say hello to the folks at home.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, so good to see all of you. That was actually, by the way, I just want to take a moment. Someone please clip that. Like, OG just made the perfect, like, entrance in on that one. Like, it was absolutely perfect. Just came in from the side, enlarged. She entered in from off frame and had motion and everything. Like, as a filmmaker, that was actually the perfect entrance on a video cam. So, I mean, nailed it. Fucking never thought I'd see it done in perfection so organically. Well done. Just round of applause. And if someone clips it, I want to save that as when my players hit their mark just right. Anyway, what are we doing? We're playing a role-playing game. What's a role-playing game? It's where we all lie to each other and believe each other for some reason. That's fundamentally it. Now, it's a creative, collaborative storytelling adventure in which my players take on the role of the protagonist of the adventure while I, the titular GM, take on the role of the narrator as I guide my players through an epic story of tales and intrigue. The players decide what they can do and whatever they would like, and I serve as fundamentally the things that they interact with. The monsters, the PCs, the quest items, all that stuff. And it's a lot of fun. And you, our lovely audience, get to come along on the ride and interact and mess things up or add to things. I mean, it just depends on your perspective, really. But there we go. There we go. Do they get a hero point for brilliance? No, they don't get a hero point for brilliance. They just get to be brilliant. I mean, think about how many hero points I'd be getting. Just saying. Put it out there, you know. Boom. Anywho. Before we begin, let's, of course, talk about our sponsors. We are running a little bit behind, so here's what I'm going to do. We have sponsors. There are 3 of them. There's Hero Forge, Sirenscape, and Fantasy Grounds. Go check them out. They're really cool. All right. See how quick that was? Now, next up, of course, we have our lovely players. Look, these are the cool people that are in my show. We have OG Lava Kitten playing the role of Lashara the Witch and her various entourage of animal companions. Hi, OG.
Hi.
There is Bill Ritar, a very angry barbarian dwarven man who is currently on a quest for vengeance after some hobgoblins murdered his clan of mercenaries, played by our wonderful friend Schoolie. Schoolie.
Hello.
Hello. Then, of course, a person who is literally playing an alien version of Xena the Warrior Princess. We have Rongol, being played by none other than our friend Neil from Immersion Diversion. Hi, Neil.
Hello. Hi.
And last but certainly not least, we have, of course, playing the role of Aelith, the survivalist of our group, who, yes, she is the survivalist of our group. However, we have lost 2 members of the group, so, I mean, and one of them has just wandered off, you know, I mean, there's only so much we can do to help these people. But, of course, trying their gosh darn hardest is Aelith the elf, played by our dear friend Jen. Hi, Jen.
Hello.
Yay! Aw, miscellaneous fool. Dag, you are a hero point. No, you. This fucking guy. What do I fucking look like? Dread? Come on. Anyway. I miss Dread. No, don't get sad again. Okay, anyway. What was I saying? We're doing stuff. Yeah, that's all our players. Now, guys, in addition to thanking our sponsors and our players, I'd like to thank you guys in our audience for being here, giving us your time, and hanging out with us because, you know, honestly, these shows wouldn't be what they are without your contributions. So, as such, I invite you to come on behind the GM screen in order to have a bit of fun with us and play this game alongside us. How, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked because there are a number of ways you can influence the game while we play. First of all, just by watching the show, you earn channel points that can be used at any point in time to redeem rewards that can be used in the game. These are things like inspiration, insight bonuses, wandering monsters, wandering bosses, tons and tons and tons of cool stuff there. So you can always check it out and have a good time with it. Then, of course, we have none other than our amazing and wonderful donations that help support the channel, keep my lights on, and allow me to do all these cool, wonderful, and amazing stuff. These channel point rewards that are worth dollary dues, they will go towards my survival check, which is currently at 87%. Freaking killing this month, which is amazing. But yeah, all of these are way more tangible effects for the game. First of all, we have our $5 donation, which goes for either a hero point for my players or a jinx point for me. The hero points can be used to stave off death, petition the DM for nonsense in the rules, or roll with advantage. Jinx points can be used to counteract hero points, make bad guys roll with advantage, or complicate things ever so slightly. For $10, I will draw from one of two decks of cards I have in front of me when I don't have a book on everything. Yes. Was there a hand up? I saw a hand up. My teacher senses.
Nope, I was just counting too.
Oh, okay, very well. Thank you. Yes, I have two things. Boom! We have our deck of heroic actions, which, of course, is a free, unique action that gets used by my players for a bunch of really, really cool stuff, as well as it serves as a spare hero point for my players if they need it. The second thing I've got is, boom! A big, big old deck of flashbacks and plot twists that I will use in the course of the game. Basically, this keeps me nimble with the story and allows me to pivot on at different points. Has this like part of my brain working on improv and storytelling, constantly firing, and honestly, it always challenges me to try and get all of these into games as best I can. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, you know. But we try. God damn it, we try. Then, of course, we have our $20 donation, which is for none other than the coveted natural 20s you can see all over here. So there you go. These natural 20s are served as basically a good way to just say, hey, I do this cool thing, and it fucking works. You know, you don't have to rely on dice. You don't have to wait for shit to happen. It just fucking goes, and that is always a freaking treat. So yeah, natural 20s are $20. We then have our $50 donations, which we have 3 reward tiers for that. We have our $50 donation magic item, which provides a player of your choice with a magic item. This can be a homebrew item, an item they designed, or an item you design. Hey, you come up with an idea, we'll throw it at them. We'll see what happens. Then, of course, we have our $50 boss buff, which is, of course, a massive boost to the encounter they're currently fighting, making a challenge more dangerous, changing the environment or terrain, upping the ante, changing the parameters of victory. All these cool things could happen, but it is a major complication for my players to have to deal with. Alternatively, we have our $50 group Harrow buff, where I will do a Harrow reading for our group, and our heroes will receive a bonus based on whichever statistic the card that they draw happens to be from. So if they say, for example, they have the intelligence suit, they will then gain advantage on one intelligence roll or intelligence-related roll per scene, 1d6 added to any intelligence-based skill check or ability, and of course, if they manage to fulfill or reject something adjacent to the tarot reading itself, then they will get considered to be a critical success in whatever they're trying. So there you go. That's our $50 reward. We then have our $100 secret menu item. The $100 secret menu item. Whew. Our heroes are going to be heading out of the area that they are currently in, which is, of course, Skywatch. And they're going to be heading very soon into a very, very war-torn and destroyed landscape. During this period of time, I have had the idea of a kind of a storytelling element here, and I want you to kind of go with me on this. Sarcosis was the name of the land, and otherwise previously known as the War Wound, or the World Wound, where demons had flowed out from this large scar in the world of Galarian. Now, our $100 secret menu item is a complicated relationship with a demon. Now, our heroes on their journey are going to encounter a vast number of things, but, however, I wish to include something of an uneasy alliance. I don't want to go with like an ally, like I don't want to go with a bad guy who's joining up with our group. I want our group to have to face down true moral dilemmas. How invested in their victory over Omeo the Black Frost Whale are they that they would potentially treat with a creature from the deepest realms of the abyss? That is my current goal. That's my current thing. So yeah, and keep in mind that won't involve or modify the reward that we did for last session either, which was a secret one, which I won't tell anyone about. Go. That is our checks for there. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, cool. Oh, by the way, and of course, any questions, anything like that, just ask in chat. We'll answer them as best we can. Und then we have our last announcement, which of course is the Crit Awards are currently taking up nominations. It is closing up very soon, so if you haven't done so already, please consider nominating your friend Daggerino for the Paizo Awards for the TTRPG award ceremony. And we are also asking people to nominate our friend Calindria for the Community Award. If if you guys have time, consider checking it out. Yeah, there you go. Cool. Everyone good? Sweet. Done. Without any further ado.
There is a donation.
Cookie.
Donations.
All right.
One from Christina.
2 donations, yeah.
Oh, we have two. We have 2 donations. Okay, Christina, let's start with yours. What was Christina's? Christina's was a
$10.
$10 donation for a random plot twist.
No, it was Lushara Hero Action.
Heroic action for Lashara. Lashara. Here we go. Oh, give me a number between 1 to 5.
4.
You suck. You suck. You twos both suck. Meaning this is the card. Now tell me, was this your card? Yeah, it is. It's called Warding Sign. Play at any time. Select a creature within sight. That creature is now immune to bad luck for 1 round. If the creature is already affected by bad luck, you may instead end that condition. So what this is like if something is causing you sort of a misfortune circumstance change. I will also add to this, you can also remove someone else's fortune or remove someone else's misfortune. So you can basically equilibrium them to neutral again. There you go. And that'll also potentially
remove curses.
Yeah, so that'll also potentially serve as a hero point as well. Cool. All right. Are we good? Everyone good? Solid?
Yeah.
All right. Then, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we now return once more back to the world of Galarian. When last we left, our heroes were in the company of a new friend and ally, Sakuichi. Now, Sakuichi came from a nearby tribe of mammoth riders, where she had received astral portents that it was her destiny to seek out and destroy a great evil that threatens the northern lands. Our heroes, a group of adventurers who had their memories taken from them about a few months ago, have been on the trail to try and find what entity or creature saw their memories taken, as well as 8 months of their lives. To this end, all paths now lead to the black frost whale known as Omyo, an enemy to the elves, and a great psychic power thought to be frozen long ago somewhere in the vast northern reaches. But his influence, now bleeding out into the world, has started to send ripples around the world. And it is up to our heroes, in the company of the prophesied Sakuichi, in order to overthrow this great evil. But before they leave the lands that they are in, our heroes need to seek out the guides that came with Sakuichi. At present, most are accounted for, but Pamak, the final one, is currently missing. At least, they were up until last week. Our heroes managed to find a trail leading away from Skywatch and into the den of a great and powerful dragon known as a Miroga, a leyline magic dragon that our heroes are now engaged in a bloody and heated battle with. Lashara has managed to locate the ley line that this creature is living on. It is a kind of a line that lies in the middle of a pool of water within the cave it calls a lair. Viv and Rongo have managed to locate, amongst a big stack of bones, the person they're looking for, Pamak, who is currently tied up and begging for help. Meanwhile, both Aelith and Bilratar work fervently to keep the dragon at bay while the others risk an extraction. It is here our adventure continues as we return to our glorious fight. Thank you, Christina, as well. Nailed it. Mwah. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so Cookie Mountain Steve, we had our donation. Is that for the secret menu item? Or are we doing 2 boss buffs? I mean, who knows?
Plot twists.
10 plot twists.
I swear to God. I'll just secret menu item. Okay, sweet. I will take that into account. Okay. 10 plot twists. I'll quit the stream. I'll just be like, I'm done. Okay. So, once again, we fly into battle. Let's re-roll initiative here. We are going to start with Viv. Viv is going to very quickly make their way over and try to free Pamak, reassuring her as best they could. Next, we have the Miroga. The Miroga had been smashed against the wall and battered around the head by Bilratar and Rongol earlier. Now, if I remember correctly, he is blinded, perhaps?
He's blinded because the shower threw needle darts right in his eyes as a cold shot.
That is correct. He is blinded. Does not know where Lushara is, but takes a moment to use their draconic senses and locate their quarry. Let's see. I'm just going to roll a d3 here. 1, 2, 3. And then every following. Bilratar. He is going to lunge in your direction as he attempts to use his talons to claw at you. All right. The first talon reaches down and manages to slash at you, cutting through your armor for 12 damage. The second attack from the talon swings from an upward angle as it bears down upon you. And as it does, Bilratar, it manages to rake across your shoulder and down the side of your body. With one final attack, you watch as it stretches its wings, and as it buffets water around it to try and create this huge kind of like, not mist, but you know what I mean, like a spray of water. You watch as a tail lashes like a cracking whip. Wait, I did not do that right. Hold on, sorry. Let me try that again. The mischance will stay, but I'll re-roll the attack. Ooh, a critical miss. Oh, do I use a Jinx point? I will not. Okay. Real quick, we have a natural 20 for Lushara, Bilratar, and Rongol, courtesy of our friend Christina.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my god, just $20 left. And we hit the mark.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. 99%. Here we go. All right. And then we're on to the Dag of Holding. Okay.
Yeah.
That was it, because it used 2 actions in order to use its Draconic Frenzy ability, and 1 action to locate Bilratar. So that is that, as we then go to...
Oh, wait. Crit miss card 4.
Oh, yes, crit miss. Yes, the crit miss card. Oh, I forgot. Oh, what a shame. Okay, give me a number between 1 to 5.
4.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Wrong end. Not using a slashing weapon. Let's try again. Sword is heavy. He is... No, that's not it. Oh, awkward attack. They are flat-footed. Okay, so they have, basically, in doing this maneuver, they have made themselves off guard for the next round. Sad but true. As we go to Lushara. Now, Lushara, you swim down, and you can see what looks to be a fissure at the bottom of the lake here. It glows with this bright blue luminescence. You can feel the magic permeating from here. As you get closer, here is what happens. First of all, the DC for all of your checks and your spell attack increase by 2. Secondly, any spells, powers, or ability you use while in contact with the ley line are not expended from your spell list.
Ooh.
And third and foremostly, if you choose to, you may attempt to absorb magic from the ley line for one of 2 effects. Either A, you can roll a d6, and for the next minute, you will add that result to the attacks that you have. Or you can use that same d6, roll, and add that much to your defense. This is through a magic surge or a magic shell ability. However, be warned, you will need to, for every round you do this, roll a d20. And it will go up in difficulty by increments of 5. Should you fail, it will cause a magic overload and you will detonate.
Oh, no.
If that was too complicated for you to understand, do not worry. You can always give it a go and see what happens. But that is what happens when you are on this ley line.
Okay. Well, I essentially don't have to worry about spell slots right now. So let's go see what Lushara has to throw at this guy.
Give OG some time while she's looking. Dag, you've got another donation that's tipped you over the edge.
Hey, we have a donation from Cookie Mon Steve to bring us over the edge, bring us home for the freaking 100% of the Dag Survival Check. Cookie Mon, you legend, you. That is a natural 20 for Daggerino and a Jigs point. Yeah! What a way to cap that out. Dude, thank you so much. Freaking amazing. I will make sure that they go to a good cause.
Okay. Lushara is going to cast command.
All right.
Nice.
All right. So that has a spell DC, so that's a +2 over here temporarily. And he is off guard. And yeah. Oh, he's saved.
Oh.
Let me just double check. Why am I not able to find the description button? Where'd you go, button?
All right, we have a $5
Oh, there it is. It's
over,
over here.
so
Okay, it's success, so it's unaffected. Oh well. Okay. She tried to order him to lay down, but he ignored it.
all right.
Lay down,
And then
splash.
she will swipe her hand over herself and apply shield. Alright, so let me just throw shield on myself. There we go. Yeah, okay. And that is her turn.
Brilliant. Okay, done and done. Now, before we kick off as well, now that we've reached the top of our survival check, we now have begun our Dag of Holding. Now, once we reach the Dag of Holding, whichever stream we hit the Dag of Holding in, the group will receive one magic item that will be reminiscent of one of my homebrew at-home non-broadcast games. As a permanent thing, comes with a little story about where I got this item or what inspired the item. And then, yeah, our players get that. It's, every $100, that's what we do for every single one of our tables as we go. So that is the Dag of Holding. Now, because we are technically, no, we're only 10 minutes into this game. Not fight, it's fine. This counts as this one for this game. We'll go with this. Okay, here we go. All right, where are we at? That was Lashara. Boom. Viv. Yep, that's cool. Bill Rotar. We now go to you.
I'm pretty sure Bill isn't fascinated anymore because that was Viv's lamp, that thing she turned off last time.
Yes.
Okay, so Bill is no longer fascinated. Okay. Okay, so Bill is a little bit pissed off that this dragon has just slashed him across the chest.
Mm-hmm.
As he probably would be. So just one there. So he's just going to try to punch this and try and keep its mental focus basically on the direction the bill is, so everyone else can do the rescuing job.
Okay.
So he's just going to try to respond with the claws by basically punching and kicking into its gutted head.
Nice. All right. As you move forward, you begin to start to punch, kick, and throttle. However, the underside of the dragon's belly is quite tough. The second hit, however, does manage to pound in. Ooh, 8 points of damage, which gets reduced to 3. The dragon's hide is resistant to your mighty dwarven fists.
And then for thematics, Bill's just going to roar from that position.
Oh, wow.
Like the
Okay,
dragon.
yeah. Yeah. The Rattah just lets loose this guttural, primal yell towards them. Okay. Which we then go to... oh, did you... Nope, you're still fascinated. Wait.
No, I was bleeding.
Oh, that was the bleeding. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need you to remove the fascinated.
I will remove the fascinated. Done. All right, Aelith, we now go to you.
Alrighty, let's try and hit this thing. I'm going to. Oh, let's just do all 3. Here we go.
Ooh.
And no.
Your first arrow
could
flies
I-
wide.
Yeah. I'd like to try and roll that again, please.
All right, you use a hero point.
Yeah.
Let's see if this helps.
Alrighty.
The arrow flies past, hits the wall, ricochets, and bounces back. Let's see if we get a hit.
I gotta. Alright. Sorry, accidentally hit it to where there was 2 d20s, so had to throw that one away. Oh my dear word. Alrighty. Aelith is just not with it. So she yells at it.
Okay. But that was only your first attack, though, wasn't it?
I did all
Oh,
3.
Oh, okay. Yep. I get what you're saying. You're using your precision shot, your hunted mark, and that's only 2. That's only 2 shots because your hunted mark still is in effect already. So you do have one more attack.
Oh.
Yeah, it was
one
an
more
effect
attack.
from
So
the
then-
previous game.
So then I go to the second one or the last one, since this
Second
would be
one.
number 3.
Second one.
Second one, because it's the second attack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Hey! All right.
Woo!
This time your arrow does hit it, managing to strike it. Let's see how the damage is like.
Alrighty, here we go.
Also, has that fixed my player's volume, by the way? Just let me know.
Test.
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 Do we sound better?
I mean, I'll end up being louder than I usually am just because of me.
Neil, you were
laughing.
always the loudest. You always
I know.
single-handedly peak me. Anyway, okay. So that is 12 points of damage as the arrow finds purchase in the shoulder of the dragon.
Now I scream at him.
Now you scream at him. Except you're an elf, so you scream like, ah!
Get right. We're creating
Know what
the
they sound
echoing.
like? Or,
We're trying to create the echoing here to distract from everyone else's footfalls.
Yeah.
That's
You
what
know-
Bella and Aelith are trying to do.
Yeah, fair. You know what? Say what you want, though. Say what you want, though. I mean, I know I'm making fun, but, like, did you know that there were, in Dungeons & Dragons 3.5, the Cormier elves who were actually full-blown barbarian elves?
Nice.
Yeah. I used to love them.
That's awesome.
There used to be a prestige class about making elves strength characters, and I used to love them so much. I actually included them into my world building as ice elves who had no magic but were like tough as freaking nails. Like they were like kind of your typical Norse like kind of mythology characters, big muscles, bare chest, swimming in ice water with blonde hair, you know, perfect skin and teeth, you know. Yeah, that was my ice elves. So you know, there you go. Fun times. All right, Rongal, you clumsy
All right,
bastard. What are you doing?
Well, now that we see the guy in there, I'm going to go help Viv get him free. So I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, and would I be able to reach him from here?
Yep, absolutely. You see a person who is not tied up anymore. They are standing up and they look at you. You look at them.
Oh, let's get you out of here.
Yes, please. The sooner the better.
Yes, I will help him up.
Thank you.
No, you said yeah, okay.
Yep. Here I am.
Does he look injured in any way, or
I have been battered around and I am very tired. I've been here for a
Okay.
while and he keeps trying to fatten me up by eating the meat of the fellow travelers that I was with, but I refuse to
that's
eat
horrible.
them. It's
Okay,
quite
we'll
heinous.
get you some good food. And yeah, I'll use the rest of my movement to try and get him out then.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Whee! As you pick him up and you start helping him out.
15,
All right.
20. Yeah, and I think I can. Was that 2 or was it an action to help him up or no?
You can take another move action if you like.
Okay, and then 5, 10, 15, 20. As I run by and I'll be like, "We've got him! Everybody run!"
The dragon goes, "You're stealing my meal. I'll show you."
Except
The
we
dragon
don't
that's
says
what-
that, but
dragons,
none of us
we have no
understand
idea.
it.
True. Takes a deep breath in.
Dang it! I should have telepathically said it. Oh, never. I already did it. I was like, I could
No,
technically
I'm
find
joking.
the final
I'm
use of
joking.
actually like
One,
do that. I know.
I am joking. 2, he does not have a breath weapon.
I know. I mean,
I'm just thinking, if Dragon's saying that, Bill's probably like, "Oh, you're responding to my bellowing roar. Great."
yeah. Finally, people that can understand me.
Okay. The Viv will follow you out, running by your side. The Miroga is angry. We'll try not to let you go because that is kind of it. Lashar hasn't really done anything. It knows where Bill Ratar is, so it's just gonna keep hitting Bill Ratar. Talons and tail. Talon 1 will strike. Hearing the roar of Aleph. Talon number 2
Ooh.
will miss as Aleph
Oh,
ducks to the
nice.
side. Tail attack number 3. And I'm just going to aesthetically, because he's got 3 actions, he's going to swing to hit the both of you. But Aleph, you dodge out of the way.
That's awesome.
Birata, you get struck in the belly.
Damn.
Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Smack, smack, smack.
All right. At this point, the eyes begin to blink as the blood begins to clear up. The Miorga is no longer blinded. As we now go to Lushara.
Okay, she just watched Bill get hit really hard, so she is going to give him a heal. She's gonna do a 2-action heal on Bill. So we're gonna grab that one and chomp.
Nice.
And then she's going to shield herself again So, she's like, I think it can see now, so I'm gonna throw another shield on myself. Yeah, put that shield right back on me, and that's her turn. So that was 24 healing to Bill.
All right. Bill has healed. All right. Anything else? That's it.
That's it. That's
Alright,
my three
Bilta.
actions. She's
Oh, and
not
you.
yelling.
Yep. And Bilta, you are not bleeding. Oh, you aren't yelling, but by the way, he does know that you're there because when you cast, you
Yep.
do still need to kind of like, you know.
Yep.
Verbalize.
But she's not roaring at him like the other two.
Yeah, that's true.
Roaring in her ears from all around. Roar, 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 roar.
She did not join in on the roaring. 'cause
The
she's
dragon's
yelling.
confused.
So Bill, being reinvigorated after all this, I say, Lashar, might be time to leave the pool in case we need to bolt. As he keeps wailing at the dragon to try and keep its attention away from Lashara so that she could potentially get out of the cavern afterward. And yeah. So shout out to the Shire saying it might be time to bolt, and a couple of punches to try and keep the ire of the dragon
Okay.
on the pesky little dwarf at its feet.
Well, that's working. Aelith, you're up.
Okay. I think she's gonna do one action, maybe, to put a shield on herself just to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
If I do this right. Come on, you. Did it work?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. And so now I'm going to do a 2 action then. My last 2 actions and fire at this thing.
That is a critical
And-
miss.
I miss.
Ooh.
You do have a hero point.
Yeah,
not
let's do
20.
a hero point again. Alrighty, come on. Where is it? 2 action. Here we go. Come on.
Oh,
Sorry, that should be a
You rolled the
+5
wrong-
because yeah.
Oh, whoops.
That's okay. Let me
Oops.
just check
Alright.
the AC
be
here.
24 then.
24 will hit.
All right.
All right, deal your damage.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, 6 points of damage.
It's something.
Okay, that's it.
I'm over here.
Okay, I'm gonna take a moment here, because again, just letting you guys know, the important bit about having a plan, having some plan idea, is to be able to communicate the plan. Now, I noticed that Aelith and Bilritar are doing the same thing. My question here is, what is your goal here between the two of you? Order's been given to retreat. 2 of you are waiting for Lashara. 2 of you are getting your asses kicked. What's the plan?
Well, for Bill, as soon as the Shire bolts, he is going.
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
And Aelith?
Yep. It's the same thing. Waiting for Lashara and then knowing that how injured Bill is, she doesn't want to run too far away from him. She wants to try and draw some of the attention towards her too,
Okay.
so that he doesn't go down.
Okay. That you can communicate to Bilritar, And then instead of the two of you doing the exact same thing simultaneously, Bilrita, who admittedly, yes, is on lower hit points, can potentially use that as an opportunity of running and making that space while you take the next series of blows, for example. I only bring this up because now that the both of you have acted, Lashara is going to need to try and get past. Did I do Lashara's turn? I did.
You skipped me, though, just now.
I did. Sorry, my apologies. Rongal, it is
good.
your turn.
All right.
Yeah.
Without fighting much, because I know we're trying to run, I'm going to attempt to help them get an easier route. As I tell Viv to get what was it was Penma, right? That was this guy. Real? Or was it
Penmac, I think.
Penmac? I had Penmac. But yeah, I ask her to get them to the sleds, and I will attempt to help these guys get out. As I kind of stop where I turn around, hold up a scroll of command, and I'm going to try and command it to retreat. So like we're retreating, and then it will retreat back to its cave, hopefully. So.
Okay, let's try it.
Yep, I can drop a will save on him. We'll save a 20. Ah, okay. Does it do anything on a success? Nope, it's just unaffected. Yep. Okay, I tried. So that's 2. I don't have any single action spells. And I can't hold anything. I just yell. Now I'm gonna telepathically say to Bill Rotar, I'm ready to help if you need it. It sounds like you guys have a plan. I'm here for it all. But yes. And that'll be my turn. Is just kind of get ready for whatever they're planning on. And as soon as if people are running out, I will run out with them. So but I can't hold it. I'll have to wait till next turn.
You're muted, Doug.
Sorry. Viv is going to keep running with the person who's in danger because generally that's what a retreat looks like. The Mihoga, it's like 3 people very politely trying to hold the door open for each other while they're getting beaten on by a dragon. Now, unfortunately, Bill Rotar, he is going to try and take you out because you're the one who's hitting him like the most. So, again, we're going to go with Talon, which is a large, big, shiny claw, dealing 16 points of damage. A second large Talon coming down. Ooh, I'll Jinx point that. I think you could take it.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you might not take the third one, but, you can take this one. There we go. Second Talon. There you go. Here. All right. And the third / fourth one is going to be the tail. Now, I am going to... Well, actually, let's see if I can hit that third one for the tail first. That'll critical miss. That's fine. And then let's hit the tail on Bilrita. That'll also critically miss, which is fine because I'm going to use the Jinx point on Bilrita's attack and the natural 20 on Aelith. So Aelith, that tail is going to come at you hard as you take 30 points of damage. And give us a number between 1 to 5.
5.
All right, here we go. Triple damage, and the target is fatigued as it ruptures your abdominal cavity. Dang. All right, so that is a third lot of damage for another 16. And you are now fatigued. And as for my reroll against Bilrita, Oh, it didn't help me at all. Critical miss. Bill, give us a number between 1 to 5.
Just as well, because I'm on 2 hit points.
1, 2,
Number
3,
4.
4. All right,
Oh
here we
damn, 2 hit points.
go.
Jeez.
Ooh, okay, that's not a bad one. He needs to make a fortitude save or he knocks himself out.
Oh.
Ooh, he almost rolled a 1, but no, he is still conscious.
Divine intervention? No, just kidding.
I mean, if you want to. All right, Lashara, you're up.
Okay, Lushara is going to, despite watching them get hurt, she's going to run like, because she realizes they're waiting for her to get out. So she is going to use her actions to get out past Rongolf. So I think that's like 5, 1, 10, 20, 25, 35 for one. And then another one. I think that gets her to about here with 35.
Yes, indeed. However, as you move, attack of opportunity.
I thought I had dodged around enough. Oh well.
10 feet, I'm guessing.
Indeed, and that is a
Ouch.
critical hit.
Ow!
It's okay, you're on full HP, right?
Yeah.
That is
Man.
39 points of damage,
Get out of here! Go, go, go!
and you are grabbed in its
No!
jaws.
Oh no!
Give us
Dang
a
it!
give us a
I
number
was
between 1
following
to
the
5.
plan.
Can you attempt a hero point reaction to shove her out of the way
to.
To shove her out of the way.
and get grabbed instead?
Well, no, I got grabbed way before. You weren't nearby.
Yeah, you
Oh,
would. Yeah, they would have been
okay,
grabbed over
true.
here. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
sadly no.
Never mind then.
All right,
Oh,
give me a number between 1 to 5.
2.
1, 2.
there goes the witch.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay. Triple damage.
Oh,
Fort
no.
save or die.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Okay,
Oh, what's
okay,
your friend
okay.
look
All
like?
right. Hold on. Let's see
It's
the
okay.
damage. Let's see the damage first.
Yeah.
So triple
That
damage.
gets me.
All right. You are unconscious.
Okay.
Okay. But we still get to make the fort save.
Okay.
Now you try to steal its food. I mean, suffice to
I
say,
know it's mad.
it's hungry. It's just, and it's
So
been spending
people
all of
use
this.
magic, and you
It's
just
been
sufficed
spending
it.
all of this time fattening up its meal, and you stole it. All
Now
right.
you're feeding it pure magic.
Okay. So this is a
Okay.
fort save. Now keep. Now
Let's
keep.
see if
okay.
I can pass.
All right.
Let's
Hold on.
go,
Wait.
let's
You,
go.
what level are you guys?
4.
Oh no.
4.
4. Okay.
Yeah, we're level 4.
Okay. Well, a 9 is not going to suffice. In fact, a 9 is a
No.
critical failure. I'll kill you
I
and
have
your
a
friend.
nat 20.
You
and
can.
I'm nat 20 this fort save, so I do not die.
You don't need to. You can use a. Oh, hey,
Okay.
Cookie Mon has come in with a divine intervention. Roll again, por
Okay.
favor.
All right,
Um,
let's go.
A
That's a
19 is
19?
exactly what you needed.
Oh.
Oh.
Thank you, Cookie Mon.
All right. So you are not dead, but you are dying in its jaws as it picks you up. Both Lashara and Aelith look up in what I imagine is some form of abject despair as they're just like,
You built her dog.
Yep.
Also, by the way, if anyone is concerned about me being a little bit too harsh on the group, I am.
We deserve
That is
it.
all. Carry on.
Somehow we
He is
deserved it.
mean. It's okay. we
I'm a
know
little
that.
mean, but well, here's the thing. Fun fact.
He's in a good mood today, which means he's meaner.
No, that's it. No, it also means it also means that I'm willing to teach and to talk about stuff. So first and foremost, the plan that Bilrata and Aelith had, fantastic, absolutely wonderful idea to have you guys, sort of work together in tandem. However, both of you remaining in reach for the full attack puts you both in jeopardy. What you should have done is you should have off-switched your tanks. Whoever is getting hit should stay at the front while the other covers from the back. Then when one is on low hit points, swap position. Not only does this provide less of a target for the attacks that it makes, but also in addition, you provoke the attacks of opportunity, which would have given Lashara a clear bank outwards. Off tanking is a very tricky strategy to do, especially when you're playing a role-playing game. But if you communicate it and you can do it well, it's probably the best way to actually keep that distraction in, because it also means that whoever's healing you can focus on healing somebody who isn't just losing health, so you just get stuck in that heal cycle over and over again. I do like what Rongal is attempting to do, but similarly, your tank doesn't have to be the physical strongest either. So, for example, Rongal could have gone in, and Bilratar and Aelith could have come out, etc., etc., etc. You know, millions of different permeations of this. In any case, it's a dragon. Shit happens. All right. So that is Lushara's turn, which brings us to Viv, who doesn't do anything. Bilratar, you're up.
So with Lashara now in this, I'm guessing it's in the jaws and not swallowed.
Correct.
Correct? Okay.
I'm not that mean.
Okay. So seeing that his fists have not been very useful to this point, because to be fair, he was trying to be just a pesky distraction, but now that the shower's up in its jaws, he sighs as he will then unsling the greatsword, because he thinks that the best thing to do to possibly distract it is to try and slash along its throat.
Sure.
So basically aiming for the neck area.
Can I? Well, no, I'll save it for my next one. But I do have a heroic action that triggers if I'm reduced to 0, I stay up, I'm doomed, and then I'm immune for a round.
If you wanted to use that, sure, not a problem.
Yeah.
So you stay up, so that means you're not unconscious, you are conscious. You are, however, doomed.
I'm doomed.
All right,
What
there we
does
go.
doom mean?
It
Okay.
decreases your max down.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, dang. So dying 4 to dying 3 is when you die?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. But I'm also
Ooh.
immune to damage for a round.
Oh.
All right, so use that. I'm glad I've been hanging on to that one for a while.
All right, Bill, you're up.
Yeah, so unslinging the greatsword as he makes a slash across it to try and hopefully make it drop Lashara. And you know what? Bill's angry at this point. Can I just burn the nat 20 on this?
All right, let's do it. Bill burning up the nat 20. Ooh, 14 points of damage, and the dragon is still up. Let's see how much he's up by. That is enough for the do or die coin.
But I'm in his mouth.
You are. The do or die coin. Okay, I will admit, this do or die could be very bad.
I just wanted to remind everyone.
Yeah. Bill is also like, everyone, especially Aelith, has been very, very beneficial to taking this dragon down, so I'm going to say no. But I do
Okay.
get the crit card, yes.
Yes, you do get the crit card. Wait, do you get the crit card? Yeah, you get a crit card.
Oh, not 20. Number 2.
Number 2. All right, let's see it. 1, 2. That is... What type of damage is it? Slashing?
This would be slashing, yeah.
All right, wide open. They are off guard.
Okay. And for the third action, Bill's going to take a step back, such that if Lashara gets dropped, she doesn't drop on top of his head.
Fair. All right. That brings us to Aelith.
All right, let's try this. I am going to attack.
Nice.
Okay, and here we go. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Do this. How is it?
It is dead.
Ooh.
Oh, good.
Okay. And then for my third action, can I'd like to run over towards Lashara.
All right.
Was
one
she
moment while
dropped
I...
or no?
Lashara will land in the water. I'm just going to turn off the music real quick.
Okay, I'm gonna run over to Lashara.
It was very much like, ow. And wiggles out of his mouth.
All right.
So she can get up.
As you pull yourself free, you all crawl into the sunlight, panting, breathing, bleeding. You see Viv down the road, who has managed to secure Pamak, and they rejoin you. Pamak turns and says, "You all saved my life. You risked your lives to save me. Why? Who are you?"
We are here to save you. We were looking.
Sakoichi sent us to find you.
Sakuichi? She's alive? She's okay?
Yes, you and your other friends are safe.
All of them?
Yes,
Good.
all of them.
Good. We should go to them. Now.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no,
You're very
it's okay.
welcome.
We're just glad that you're alive. We were worried when we saw the blood at the cave.
Yeah, no, I do find myself fortunate. I hope you don't mind. I've been through a bit of an ordeal. If we could hurry away
Yeah,
from this
no,
place, maybe.
let's get
Yes.
To the
Lashara's just gonna, like,
sleds.
struggle over to the sled and just throw herself.
Sorry, you were
up
almost
and-
eaten by a dragon. That was most impressive.
No,
Not
that's
being not the
impressive.
being eaten part. Not being eaten by it is impressive. That proves
Okay.
how strong you are.
All right, we'll go with Lushara than not eaten.
Yeah.
That's the way you right. Okay.
Okay. Aelith, could I get you to roll me a perception check, please?
Oh no.
boy. Oh no. Let me. All right. Perception. Where are you? Oops. I'm trying. Here we go. Maybe. Come on.
All right.
No.
Sure. All right.
Great.
She's just in too much pain.
That is fine. A lot of you will make your way back to the city of Skywatch.
Yeah.
Okay. Once you arrive, there is joy that spreads throughout the camp as Sakuichi and her entourage have now been reunited. Ah, Pamak, it's so good to see you! As Denji goes up and gives a big hug, her leg now fully in a splint that actually, is properly fitted instead of that, ragtag thing that she was wearing. She lifts up Pamak into the air and gives her a big tight squeeze. Gentle, Denji, gentle. Ulquick steps forward. I've got to say, I was not expecting to see anyone live. Yet here we all are, each and every one of us. Bound together thanks to our friends. I'm truly grateful for their help. I can't remember her name. So it was... Hold on.
We've got...
I will forget all their names.
Yeah. Ulquick?
Yep. Inuma, that's the other one. Inuma. Inuma, who's the one that you found at the Smiling Wolves camp, comes through and she is just in tears. She just sort of like hugs everyone and just can't believe how lucky they are. And Sakuichi's just in the middle, just saying, we should all offer a blessing and a prayer of thanks to our heroes. And they turn to you and they all kneel on the ground and bow deeply to each of you as they thank you for rescuing them.
Shara is very uncomfortable by people bowing. So she's just like, thank you, but you don't need to bow.
It is
Bill's just puffing out his chest.
Yeah, they say it is our custom. Honestly, if it weren't for you, I fear the hobgoblins would have ended us once and for all.
Well, we're just glad that we were able to find everyone alive and bring them all back safely.
At this point in time, Sakuichi speaks up. Now, I believe it is time for us to leave the city. But before we do, I believe it would be best if we speak with, and I know you may not like this, but we should speak with the Smiling Wolves once more. The place
I think a friend might want to speak with their leader before leaving, so.
Well, that wouldn't be why I was suggesting it. The reason I suggest it is because in the visions that I see the stars over a blighted and terrifying land. I'm not sure what resides there, but I know that whatever we seek, it likely has something to do with the world wound. Sarcosis. The Mendevian Crusades saw the end of the demons that vomited forth from the large, hideous wound, but the area is still fraught with danger. If we were to try and get there from here, I believe we would have a much harder time traversing these lands to go south in order to reach Sarcosis. However, I believe there is a large inner sea lake called the Lake of Veil and Mists. If we can find passage to navigate through there, I believe we can enter in from the same side of the world wound as Mendiev. Doing this, I think, would be safe for us to even find a guide or someone who can help us navigate. But that would involve us taking a boat. I remember when we were guests at the Smiling Wolf camp, there was a dock nearby. Perhaps Mats may be able to lend us one for our journey.
Okay. Shara makes a slight face at the name of Mats because she's still annoyed with him, but she nods and agrees. All right, then. We will see if we can get them to lend us the boat. Do we need a guide to get us across the lake?
Perhaps. I don't have many answers.
Well, maybe the wolves will know more.
She nods in agreement.
All right, well, it's what time of day is it?
It's probably close to the evening. Given the couple hours to go out and come back in.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys
We should.
should we go negotiate and then rest up overnight and go out in the morning? Maybe we
I
can
think
just get
so. A
the
lot of you guys
discussion
are
now.
fairly bruised up.
I'm just thinking we should talk to the wolves so that now and get through all of that so that we can just leave
Mhm.
first thing in the morning instead of talking to them then.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
We could leave before they wake up, even.
Steal their stuff and tie them up, see how they like it. Anyway, all right then. If we agree, we should go talk to them now, so that we can rest and head out in the morning.
Mhm.
All right. Very well. Making your way across, you begin to navigate. Bill, a thought crosses your mind. A thought about the obsidian, the obsidian oath hobgoblins.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Because
If you-
mentioning them
Somewhere in the
started
city.
twitching his eyes when we said we dealt with them.
Mm.
Oh,
You think they'll ever leave here, Bill? We could always
You
come
think-
back and deal with them. Or if you'd like, we could deal with them right now.
I forgot about
We would
them.
need to rest first before dealing
Well,
with
yeah.
them now.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
But-
yeah. You
At
know,
this point,
Deal with
there
them
is
before
a.
we leave.
At this point, there is a knock on the door.
Everything like everyone's looking at the door like.
But Bill will go
Who
down
is
through
it?
the door.
oh,
All right, Bill.
just yelling.
It's the weirdest thing for us. We're like, who's knocking on our
Everybody's
door?
been attacking us lately.
As you open the door, what stands in front of you is not what you expected. Not what you expected in the least. Standing before you is a massive hobgoblin.
Oh,
Just seeing
no.
OG's face
Oh,
just
boy.
now.
Let me go get the wash bucket.
This is not, however, any hobgoblin. With a large scar upon his nose and several iron bolts sort of like almost stapled to the side of his jaws, you know this to be the kin leader of the Obsidian Oath. His name is Ostra. And as he enters, oh, well, he doesn't enter, as he stands before you, he looks down at you and he gives you a look. And in that moment and in that look, Bill Ratar, you recall that same look. It wasn't from the clan leader. It was from the lieutenant who gave the order to murder your mercenaries. At the time, Ostra wasn't in charge of the Obsidian Oath. A mere part player, a captain, risen to this station that he now resides in. The only thing you recognize him as, the only thing you recognize from him is that same condescending, baleful sneer he gives you.
So I'm guessing height difference this. He's obviously going to be a lot taller than Bill. I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Well, this is unexpected.
That's to say the least. I come here with a bargain. Birata.
So it's actually worthy of you knowing my name.
You killed one of our lead interrogation squads. I always remember the names I put in the book. And you watch as he reaches into his jacket. He pulls out a severed arm attached to a journal.
Mhm.
The arm, Bilrata, you can actually recognize. It's a bracer belonging to one of the mercenary company that you belong to. Not someone you knew personally, but definitely someone from the company. He opens the book, and he doesn't like reveal much of it, but you can see that it's a book of just these like scrolled names with blood marks on each of them. As each name has been like written in ink, it has been crossed out in blood. And the last on the list is your name, Bilrata.
Because of where Bill's mind is, I appreciate this. It's probably going to mess things up a little bit. I'd imagine Bill at this point is probably just seeing red,
Mm-hmm.
especially with that book. And as a result, I'd almost like the inner rage, especially from the deviant stuff, to kick in.
Yep.
And basically use blasting beams to burn the book.
Okay. Well, we will start this. As you do so, and you begin to channel these flames begin to erupt in your hand, you watch as this guy, almost as quickly as you pull out your fire, he lets go of the book, and before it drops, you watch as he's already drawn these two gnarly looking forked dagger kind of looking things. Like basically, imagine, if you would, a 3-pronged dagger with a large like rivet going through it, so that as he swings it outwards, it expands into like almost like 3 sickles kind of thing. So he drags.
He's got a fence on a stick.
What's that?
He's got a fence on a stick.
A fence on a stick. I mean, it's
That's
more
a joke.
it's more like a bird talon, almost anything else.
That's cool.
So he drags both of these out, but in that moment, you hear this person step forward and go, "Oh, okay, all right, calm down, all right, just give everyone a hot fucking second." Standing before you, it's Mats from the Smiling Wolves.
What are you doing here, and do you know him?
It's good to see you as well. Yes, I do. And yes, I'm the reason he knows where you are, but that is because there is a very good reason, which I'm sure we would all like to take a moment to hear about. So let's not be all stabby and burny for at least a few seconds, because I think there's a way that I'm slashy whatever. I'm sure there's a way all of us can come out of this not only unstab or burnified, but also a little richer and more well off. You people are after something. You people are after something. I'm after something. So maybe we can resolve this so that all of us get what we want and none of us have to die for that to happen.
I think Bilratar is after that guy, so.
What is it you want?
Can I? Lushara's eyeing that book and wondering if she can like use her ghostly grab to grab it before the hobgoblin gets it again.
Nice.
She's thinking about it, but she won't do
He's
anything
got
at the
his hands
moment.
occupied with weapons. Yeah.
Yes, it's just sitting there on the ground, unattended.
You just drag an arm with it as you pull the book, and the arm goes with it along the ground.
And while all of them are talking and thinking, Bill is just not taking his eyes off of
Yeah.
the hobgoblin.
She's not going to do it right now. She don't want to provoke anything. They're like, okay, all right, let's hear you out then.
He gestures to go inside and sit by the big table that's there. You guys on one side, him on the other, and, yada, yada.
Mm.
So, interesting story. The boss is not here. She's attending to certain matters. So I'm here as a representative of the Smiling Wolves. As you know, we're here simply taking advantage of the abundance of resources that have been left unoccupied since the time that it has been here. We have been tasked to make sure that certain forces, he gestures at the Hobgoblin, the Hobgoblin growls, are not taking advantage either. That's what we're here for. The Hobgoblins are here for a different reason. Technology. The clans in the Hobgoblin nations are at war. The iron battles have stretched far and wide, and smaller tribes are being consumed by the Iron Fang. The Obsidian Oath will not go and join such a fruitless campaign as the one that they are embarking on, but we need an edge to stop ourselves from being consumed. We thought the technology here might bear fruit. But alas, it turns out that much of the misdirection caused by this place is a phenomena of the location itself, which is worthless to us. Now, you are all currently on a quest. A quest that is going to take you far and wide, so I hear.
Mhm.
And as rumors would have, thanks to your friend, he gestures at Inuma, I believe your destination following is supposed to be Sarcosis?
Lushar just looks at him and does
Maybe.
not confirm. She's just, I don't trust you.
Yeah.
But maybe.
You can be coy. I don't care. I have nothing to gain here. It's just whether or not you actually want help or not.
Well,
Where did your
I'm still waiting to hear the offer.
Well, if
And
you're
where
not
did
going
your
to
boss go?
Sarcosis, then there is nothing for you to gain, so there's nothing to offer. You see the problem with not knowing what you guys want. If you guys don't tell us, if you're not communicating, there's no grounds for that middle place to find. It just doesn't work that way, you know?
You still owe us an apology, but fine. We're going to Sarcosis.
Well, it turns out our hobgoblin friend knows a thing or two about Sarcosis. He growls again. And he has agreed to potentially go and help you in exchange for any technologies that he may find in Sarcosis. He knows of
say in this town. I'm like, I know of a place.
he knows of a few ways through and around Sarcosis, but the journey becomes too treacherous, and having a huge hobgoblin army amass on it so close to the border of Multhune, the Iron Fang hobgoblins will know of their movement. If they catch wind that we are moving through their territory, they will attack us far too quickly than we would be prepared. But if simply a singular agent were to go into Sarcosis and retrieve varying odds and ends, it would suffice enough to keep our hold and standing. Rest assured, you and your friends will not survive Sarcosis. I was there. The Mendevian Crusades were not just made of those who had warm and fluffy hearts. People who knew how to sniff out traitors. Who knew what needed to be done when someone was possessed by the soul of a demon. They are the individuals who fought beside the Paladins and the Silver Ravens. People like me do not get words in song. I know Sarcosis. Return me to its lands, and I'll take you wherever you need to go for whatever misbegotten purpose you have. But there is something I seek. And should it be found, I lay claim to it.
Can I telepathically speak to Belratar?
Yes.
You're just gonna get like rage. That's all that's gonna come back.
I just grab my head. Oh my god! Ow! No. I just say to Bill in his head, I say, he shows us the way, and if he tries to do anything while we're there, he's on his own. It's at that point 5 or 6 against. I'm gonna say 5 right now against 1. He's not bringing his huge army.
The response you get with many expletives that are probably not fit for chat. It's probably the best way to say it. Is it's unlikely he'll get back. Basically, the impression you're going to get is if he goes, it's quite likely Bill's going to try and kill him at some point.
Yeah, I got that impression. So, and then I just speak back to you and say agreed, like in your head again. So I kind of think of it as the message, or not message, but yeah.
You might have picked up on the lingering thought of when he said about his tribe not surviving, the almost deep satisfaction, pleasure Bill would have got imagining that scenario where his entire tribe is just wiped out. You're muted again, by the way, Doug.
Sorry, he did not mean wiped out. He means assimilated into a larger hobgoblin army.
Oh.
Yeah. As in,
Well,
okay, so
their identity is gone.
Yeah. So effectively, for those of you, again, this is a bit of Pathfinder history here. The Iron Fang War is basically a legion. It is a growing concern, actually, a huge concern. Basically, hobgoblins live in a society of militaristic conquest. They basically try to rise up the ranks in order to gain more power for themselves. There are varying warlords and varying tribes, and much like with orcs and other war-torn or war-spoken species, they normally keep each other in check through this division. Uniting as a front, however, is very dangerous, and it's been a long time since a hobgoblin of any kind of power has gained enough sway to be able to unite different clans. Recently, however, I want to say in Nurmenthas or in Taldor or somewhere in that kind of region, hobgoblin armies have risen to a mass. There is a huge force known as the Iron Fang Legion, which is taking hobgoblin tribes. So even though these guys they're not, when we say wiped out, they're not going to get killed. They're basically going to get turned, and more that add to it. Basically, your enemies exponentially increase.
Yeah.
That being said,
part of the reason that Bill's mercenary group was destroyed might have been for them to claim recognition to avoid it as well.
Yeah. Oh, I think in terms of like, I mean, we can explore that if you wanted to ask. Like maybe Bill doesn't know why the hobgoblins killed your group.
Right, because if we did get into the fight, it was going to be a why slap homes with
Yeah, I mean,
got to that.
I mean, you could try to resolve that if you'd like. Oh, sorry, I did forget. This was the role play bit, by the way. I would like to invite everyone to level up as well, if you guys would like. After saving Pamak and defeating the dragon, you guys may level up. You can do this now, or you can do this a little later, but you have officially leveled.
Yeah. All right, I'll do this a little later.
Okay, so.
Yep, I'll do it later.
Okay, so you again, you've had your little psychic tete-a-tete.
Mm-hmm.
What does Lushara know about psychosis? Has she heard about it? Is there rumors? She wants to verify,
you would know.
Do we really need a guide to help us?
The short answer to that is yes.
Okay. She'll kind of look at
So,
Aelith.
oh,
And tell her in Elvish, like, do you think we can make a deal to get this guide without Bill losing his temper? Because she knows that obviously he's got an issue here and she doesn't want to like start agreeing to anything.
Well, do you want to know about Sarcosis?
Yeah.
Okay. The historical Kellid realm of Old Sarcosis was a savage land fiercely maintained by painted warriors, witches, and the like, located in ancient Avestan, the ancient part of northern Avestan. However, during the time in which Aradin, the god of humanity, perished at the age of lost omens, the mystical barrier between this plane and the abyss was torn asunder. As the world opened up and demons began to flow out, years of chaos reigned over this entire region, as legion upon legion of corrupted and depraved demons poured out and onto this world, led by the demon god Descari, a demon lord known as the Locust Host. This invasion saw many crusades trying to overthrow it, time and time again, until the 5th Mendevian Crusade in 4718, which was, what, like 7 years ago now? Managed to defeat Descari and close the world wound once and for all, leaving nothing but a scarred and destroyed land. Since then, it is still completely and utterly devastated, with small signs of nature slowly reclaiming bits and pieces of the land. Goblins, hobgoblins, mass amounts of still demon-controlled areas, those who still remained after the world wound closed, basically. Giants and more rule over this Badland area. The simple fact that he is a hobgoblin makes his knowledge invaluable. The fact that he would likely also know some of the other tribes, where certain territories may be, means that he could navigate them without any issue. Most importantly, if what he says is true as well, it does mean that he also has experience fighting, killing, and hunting demons.
Okay.
That would be helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, so she does turn to kind of look at Aelith and be like, do you think we can arrange something with this hobgoblin without, Bill? Like, refusing.
I think we have no choice.
Yeah.
But I want to know what the Smiling Wolves want out of this.
All right. So I'm sorry, you said you were looking for something in particular there? And she kind of looks at the hobgoblin? Or just any technologies we come across that may help?
There is something specific I intend to find, but I would not tell you what it were. Let's not beat around the bush. I am fairly certain that the earliest opportunity you would find any excuse to leave me dead by the road. Likewise, if I told you what I was seeking, you would find any means necessary to prevent me from acquiring it. So no, I will not be sharing that particular information with you.
I see. Understandable. So why did you tell them we were here, Mats?
Because they have agreed that if they can come to a term here at this table, they will take all of their troops and they will leave Skywatch forever. If they don't, then they are going to set up base camp here, which of course means the Smiling Wolves and the Hobgoblins will be battling it out till the end. And, well, quite frankly, this way saves a ton of our lives, while at the same time letting us still get paid for exactly the task we were set out to do.
All right. Well, we hear you have a boat.
I mean, we have boats. Yeah?
Obviously, we need one. So we're hoping that you're going to throw that into this deal to help you, help us,
Help them.
and help them.
Yeah, sure. I got no problem with that. We've got plenty of boats.
All right.
How big are these boats?
I mean, enough for you all. How big a boat? Oh, actually, you know what? Hold that thought.
Rungo was
Where-
kind of expecting something grand.
Where would you?
He's like,
Where would you be
that's why I
going?
said it with gusto.
Where would you be going?
We are thinking to cross the Lake of Veil and Mist.
Well, unfortunately, I don't have anything quite that big. But look, if you are heading to the Vale of Lake and Vale of Mists, the Lake of Veil and Mists, there is something I do know that could help. You see, one moment. Hiya. Okay. There are a few of the Smiling Wolves who are proficient with sailing. We've spoken before about traversing across the lake. However, anywhere past, he sort of draws a line here, the waters become too deep and treacherous. It's akin to sailing into an open ocean. However, if you were to go west from Sarcosis, there is a port that you want to reach called Agide, which is probably your best way to get into and towards Sarcosis from the lake. However, it'll take something bigger to make the full distance. There's a ship graveyard not far from Winterbreak Bay. It is called the Jundland Rex. There's about a dozen ships there, some of which are probably seaworthy enough to get you at least from the Rex back to Agige. But, don't listen to the ghost stories and the like about that place. I'm sure it's just, old wives' tales and stuff. But again, who knows?
What are the rumors? Because I'm taking them very seriously these days.
Can I actually make a esoteric lore skill about like the haunts? If there is if I know anything. I mean, actually, probably not. I don't know a lot about this.
He'll start
mind.
regaling you with stories of like ghost ships crashed, sort of like the woman in white floating around being picked up by drifters and then led astray, sirens, Nereids, Dullahans, not Dullahans, Duragar, that's right. Sea wraiths, sea bozes, krakens, water wraiths, again, you name it. There's like there's stories,
Everything.
things that lead you to eventually crash and crack
Our goal
into.
would just be like, oh, we got things like that on my planet too. Then those usually were pretty true also. So we should be a little careful.
All right. So basically, we need
Especially
to
the
use their
sirens.
boat to get to the ship graveyard to get a bigger boat so we can actually get all the way to the port. But none of us know how to sail a ship.
I can lend you one of the wolves.
All right.
They could absolutely I know how to sail a ship
Okay.
and
Great.
drive most vehicles. And none of you have
Okay.
these skills, he says, looking almost like, again, look, he has just this constant look of you guys are a little more than cattle.
I know how to ride animals. That's pretty much it.
Great. Okay. All right. Well, I'm sure you'll understand we'll need a moment to talk about your proposal to work with you in exchange for a guide. You collect the technology you're looking for. We're obviously going to have to talk to our friend here.
He says, I will wait by sundown at the observatory. And he will excuse himself and leave. Mats is like, but I mean...
So probably we have to look. There's history between him and Bilritar. We need to make sure Bilritar is not going to murder him.
Oh,
the
really?
moment we are alone.
I honestly couldn't tell. I thought, you know, like maybe they were old high school buddies. Yeah, I kind of picked that up. Look, honestly, cards on the table. All I want to do is make sure that my men can go home safe and sound at night. I don't care how that happens, you know, like honestly. And as for your apology, I mean, I'm sorry we beat up. Sorry, Aelith. Yeah, you know, like sure, but you know, likewise,
I mean,
you guys.
perhaps next time you have to like, do something similar. You just ask the people like, "Hey, our boss wants to talk to your friend here."
Oh right, yeah, sure. Maybe I'll
Yeah,
turn around and be like, "Hey, are you guys doppelgangers or shapeshifters or some other kind of nefarious kind
you
of
can just
monstrous
say,
creature?"
Our
And
boss wants to talk to one of your friends.
well, because it feels
sure,
like
we'll
it
wait
feels more like you guys have been walking around here pretty fucking entitled. So I'll leave that to you guys. But straight
Man,
up,
I wish I'd left
but
corn.
you are right. If it was, maybe if we showed you a little bit more compassion, maybe. But at the same time, we didn't become
Basic
great.
respect.
Yeah, you earn that. You don't get given it, and you're not
Yeah.
entitled to it.
There's a certain level
No,
of respect people should give each other before.
He leaves.
Oh, I've been sorry. I was
I
gonna
hate
get
him
in
so
the
much.
middle of this and just tell them to calm down.
Oh no, he's
No, he left.
yeah,
He's rude. He left.
he like I said, he basically is like just done with this childish thing that's happening here between your group and the Hobgoblin group. He's very much like, I want to go home and have a beer. Like that's my goal. My goal, go home, have beer. And like the demanding of an apology suddenly for him, he was just like, yeah, okay, look.
Well, she just
I'll
said
apologize.
you owe us an apology.
Yeah, but
She's the
he
main
thinks
one.
it's because like you guys got like detained for like an hour. Right? Aelith got smacked.
Right.
Aelith got smacked around. And I want to point this out. He did apologize to Aelith. He's like, I'm sorry, my guys are rough with you. He did apologize for that, but he'll be damned if he's gonna apologize for inconveniencing you for a little bit. And he's just like, cool, thanks, bye, and he's left. He's gone.
Especially because the
hate him,
roughing
he's
up
so
was only because
rude.
she resisted of a very gentle.
Yep.
Please stay there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. But
All I'm saying
again,
is that they could have just approached and they're already being deceptive, and just by saying, "Hey, our boss wants to talk to your friend," we probably would have been like, "Sure, we'll wait here." Anyway,
it's true.
she's just annoyed.
And you know what
She's
the
very
great
annoyed.
you know the great thing is she's allowed to be.
She's very annoyed. She's like, I
Okay.
hate that guy. Anyway.
Okay.
This is her TV show.
Bill.
All right.
All right, Bill. Obviously, this is someone that did something horrible to you and your companions. Kind of sounds like we need them temporarily. Are you going to be able to do that?
I'm never going to trust him. Hope you realize that.
I don't trust him at all. We
Been
don't
letting
need
you
to
guys
trust him. We just need to use him.
use him. Oh. Been letting you guys take the lead because you seem to know how to find these answers better than I do, but as long as you can promise me one thing. When he betrays us, and I suspect he's going to betray us at some point, I get to be the one that takes his head.
Naturally.
Agreed.
As soon as you do, I will burn this cloth of theirs.
Oh,
He took the sigil from the lieutenant, remember,
Yeah.
for his esoteric stuff.
Oh, right. Yes, I remember.
yes.
It's like a beat up all their little minions we come across these here.
I think we've learned to accept that Rongo does some odd things, and we're just like, sure, yeah, you got the, yes. Mhm.
It's the custom of the alien planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I get
We're just like,
stronger
he's from an
against.
alien planet. Cool.
I learn their weaknesses when I take their personal items.
Yeah, so I collect trophies from all the people I hunt down. I'm perfectly fine.
Yep, I was
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
waiting for him to actually go in and take a dragon tooth or something like that from the dragon that just got
I
slain.
know. I'm surprised he didn't take a little chunk.
Yeah, we
Like,
were
I just
beating
need a
up
little
and stuff,
trophy.
so
I just killed it.
I got a trophy. I got its name.
Whose name?
Should we?
The dragon's
dragon.
name. So now it's Drungul Bjorn Dragon or Dragon Bjorn. One of the
He's
two?
not. He wasn't a dragon. He was a.
Actually, technically, was he a higher CR than the Nightmare?
Yes.
Okay, then yeah.
So we all agree to take this tentative deal.
Yes. We
I already
will-
talked it over with Bill. Yes.
We'll take this deal, and if and when he betrays us, we'll take care of it then. But not before. We're not just going to murder him. He has to betray us first.
No, we're
okay,
not.
Bill?
Bill will.
Rongo.
Sorry. I'm trying to help.
You may see a little twitch of the lip as Bill just had a thought of sabotaging his attempt to take any technology. Didn't verbalize it, but you might have seen
Yeah.
a lip twirl as he thought about it.
He needs to betray us before we do anything about it. Until then, we have a proper alliance, all right? Is that acceptable? We can't be like them. We have to hold up to our word. And if our word is we are, as long as we're working together, things are okay. Because you assume he's going to betray us first, then you have free reign on him. All right. Richard turns to Aelith and says, "We need to keep a eye on Bill in Elvish." Just to be like, we need to keep an eye on Elvish.
Which, to be fair, is probably fair in what he should be doing at this point.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, she's just gonna tell Aelith and Elvish that we need to keep an eye on Bill at all times to make sure he doesn't break the deal.
And I'll speak to Bill's head and say that we'll need to keep an eye on Dushara and Aelith.
Great.
I'm probably just to probably more to make the other two wonder what the hell is happening. Bill does a one eyebrow raised in Rongo's direction.
I just give him a thumbs up.
It's gonna be a long trip. All right. All right, then. We will meet. What is this hobgoblin's name? Did we get his name?
We did. We did. Astra.
Astra. Okay. We will meet Astra tomorrow then by the observatory. Is that what we agreed to? Or was it
Yes.
we had to meet him? Okay, in the morning. Okay. All right. Well then, the Smiling Wolves are going to give us a boat. He's going to bury the. Oh, okay.
Oh,
I'm
we said we were
tired.
gonna get a ghost ship eventually.
Yeah. And
That's
Charles is
exciting.
like, I'm tired and I'm beat up. And we just had this really weird interaction. Okay.
Our heroes turn in and rest, waiting for the morning where they will go and speak once more with Astra in order to take the deal with the devil. As we pan away from our heroes, the night passes by. However, in a dark, secluded building, a gurgling sound. A man dressed in smiling wolf armor lays bleeding out, gasping for air, blood pooling into a small silver basin. The basin ripples. A voice emerges. Excellent. They are on their way. You've done well. Just ensure they stay on task. So long as they follow the Stargazer's prophecy, they'll end up right where we need them. Do not tarry. Stay by their side. Despite the difficulty, you need their trust. Earn it however you can. The blood stills. The pot empties, and the figure leaves the room. And that is where we're going to end today's session.
Oh,
Hi guys.
No, that's a great cliffhanger.
I thought you guys would like it. All right. Well done, everyone. You guys did super, super good. Very, very happy with the results. Yeah, no, I think nothing more to be said. Bilratar also very, 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 very well played. Your mortal nemesis now has joined your group. An unrepentant, unequivocal evil. But I have a question. I have a question for chat, and I have questions for the rest of the group. Who ever said that Bilratar worked for mercenaries who were upstanding and good? What is to say that this group of hobgoblins didn't put down a group of people who went and killed women and children hobgoblin for money?
Oh my god, there's just people everywhere. It's just
I
you
mean,
and
just-
me, Aelith. It's just you and me, Aelith.
I mean,
I do it on
I mean,
accident.
you did see Bill going on an effective murder spree.
it's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
no,
Bilratar
it's very
has,
concerning.
yeah, Bilratar has also murdered people in their sleep as well. Like, you know, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no. Lushara trusts Aelith. I think right now
I
she's the
shot
only person
Bilratar.
she could trust.
That's true. But
Well,
more,
you can't trust aliens.
yeah.
We are becoming an accidental evil group.
But that being
We're not
said,
trying to be
that's one thing
evil.
I've actually, and just on a side note, that's actually one thing I'm actually really enjoying about Pathfinder 2nd Edition is the removal of alignments. Because no longer is it just a point of like casting Detect Evil and going, you're evil, I don't know why, but evil is what you are. Now it's a case of everyone following their own codes and their own anathemas and edicts based on like their own belief system, which sometimes can be good in a cultural sense, but that depends on where you come from. It is good in Cheliax to return a slave that has escaped to its owner, right? But that is reprehensible in somewhere like Andoran, for example, right? And that's an important distinction. So I like the fact that Pathfinder 2nd Edition embraces that sort of thing. It gives me lots of opportunities to play characters like this. It's like, yeah, I'm evil. Absolutely. People hate me because I'm a hobgoblin. People hate me, but I went and fought in the Mendevian Crusades because even hobgoblins are fucked over by demons. So we went to fight demons. And here's the thing. When people were possessed by demons, there were people here who were going, "Oh no, my teammate has been possessed by a demon. I guess I'm going to sit here and contemplate all my moral choices while he kills me." And this hobgoblin goes, "Oh, my teammate's been possessed by a demon. Cool, next, let's go. Frickin' demons." Right? Does that make me reprehensible? Absolutely. Does it make me a bad person? Well, that's up to you guys to decide. And I love the fact that I can play characters like this now without having to piss fart around with things like alignment. So, freaking great. Absolutely love it. The question is who's going to betray who first? Is Bilratar going to turn on him, or is he going to turn on Bilratar? Literally a ticking time bomb waiting to happen. Love it.
Lushar and Aelith go after Bilratar.
Nice little powder keg on the boat when we can't escape from each other as well.
That's true. That's true. And
we're gonna just strap Bill to the mast and just like, you stay there.
And now he's the one sailing the boat as well. So it's like,
Let me just go. Yeah, let me just go prepare this scroll of water breathing over here.
And what do you think of the additive of the mysterious blood voice?
It's very concerning.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm very concerned. And it's like, was that the hobgoblin talking to this voice or someone else? I don't know. That's very concerning to me as a player.
It's the
I'm like,
frost whale. No, I'm just kidding.
Could be. I don't know. I don't know who the voice is, and I don't know who they're talking to. That says go get their trust, because obviously, how are we supposed to trust this hobgoblin? None of us trust the
Rongol's village leader.
Could be Bill. Could be anybody. We don't know. Lushar knows it's
Bill.
not her.
Bill is actually evil the whole time.
When you did it, all I got was the early season of Supernatural vibes with the demon calls through the blood. That's all I could think of when you were saying it.
I was like, oh no. Yeah, because I was like, I know it's implying that it's probably the hobgoblin in this thing, but I'm not going to assume that for sure because everybody's tricky. And the only one Lushar can trust is Magnus and Aelith. That's it.
No.
Who she trusts right now?
Because if we are getting a Smiling Wolf seafarer as well, it could equally be them.
It could be anybody. We don't know. That's why I'm like, we don't know who's going to show up on this boat, and we don't know who they are, and we don't know if that person is just going to show up later. We don't know anything.
Yep.
Just
is it somebody we
could be one of the people we rescued
already
for all
know.
We know. Could be one of Sakawiji's crew for all we know. We don't know.
Could be someone. Could be someone you haven't met yet, who needs to earn your.
Rongol's evil twin.
Yeah, could somebody who might need to earn your trust.
Could be Arsene from Return.
It's still Arsene. Oh my god, he's just forever.
Could be Viv's new Eidolon.
Yeah, we have no idea who this is, so right now trust is very limited.
All right. Also, I do want to thank OG for the conversation with Mats as well. I know stuff like that. It's hard when someone, because communicating is all about accepting things, but you're not always going to find people who are going to sit and kind of have that adult conversation, I guess is the word. Mats is definitely not one of them, but I was really worried for a second. I'm like, oh, Mats just feels like someone who just doesn't put up with this shit. You know what I mean? Like that high school kid who didn't listen to the teacher, who grew up and then have someone trying to tell them, it's like, okay, now listen, I just need you to understand my perspective and stuff. And he's just like, what a load of fucking wank. Go fucking jump. It's like, there are two forms of ADHD, It's like there's the kind of ADHD where it's like, I'm on a spectrum. And then there's the other type of ADHD, which is, I'm on a roof, cunt. right? He's the latter. So like that's the big thing. So yes, and I do want to thank OG for entertaining me on that one. That was a very good thing, and I'm very happy with how it went. Okay, but guys, we have reached the end of the game. But thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you guys being here. We will be back in like 8 hours for Curse of the Crimson Throne. So be sure to come and check us out there. If you haven't done so already, consider donating to. Sorry, not donating. What I'm saying. Going and putting our names in the running for the Crit Awards. Link is in the chat below. We also have our Discord if you want to come hang out, chill out, and ask questions and do stuff. The community is ever growing, and we've got some. I am working on some stuff in the background. I'm just trying to find the time to actualize a lot of the stuff in the background because I am a team of one at the moment, but I have some really amazing community supports, which I'm going to be looking at trying to consolidate and start actually doing some really, really big projects and stuff like that in the future. So stay tuned and look out for those things on our Discord and much, much more. But guys, my name's Mike. I'm the Dead as a Gamer. This is my place. This is my face. And until we meet again, as always, game hard or die trying.